Welcome to Between Us Girls. I'm your host, Lola.
And I'm Etta.
And welcome to our weekly show that's going to deal with relationships.
Any and every kind.
Yes. We like to start off each week with a little section. We have 4 different sections. The first one is Set It Off, which is
something that pissed you off all week.
Yes, and we know we have plenty of that. Yeah. Oh my goodness. We're not going to use no names.
We have a whole damn podcast.
Yeah, we can't tell you where we work at either. We try and keep our jobs. Anywho. Then we got What's Good. If something happens good during the week, we want to share it with y'all. And we have Say Less,
which is something that's juicy.
And then we got Fasten Your Seatbelt, which means it's not going to turn out well. We could see it coming. So this week, which one should we do?
Say less.
Say less. So I got to say less to share.
Okay.
Today I was watching the show and they were talking about Temptation Island. Have you seen Temptation Island?
Is that like Temptations the band? That's
No.
like my girl,
my girl. Is that Temptation? That might be 4 times.
No, I think it's a Temptation.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Anywho.
No, I've never seen the show. What is the show?
It's kind of like The Ultimatum, which is what we watch.
I do
2
watch
people go to an island, and they stay on separate parts of the island, and they try to figure out if somebody's going to tempt them. So I saw a clip of...
Tempt them?
Yeah, like tempt them out of their relationship.
Couples go to the island?
Couples
but they split islands.
Yes, they split to different sides.
Your boyfriend go to one island and
or
you
your
on one
wife
island.
And your husband, yes, on 2 separate sides.
Okay.
So they're doing Spain. And so this guy is watching a video of his wife in her room with this other guy. And then they start having sex. I was like, what are we watching? So then the guy takes off to the other side of the island, which he's not supposed to be on the other side of the island. And they screaming for him. The host is running behind him. Come back. But it's Spanish. Crazy.
Hold on, can you like swim to the other island?
No, you got to run down the beach. It looks like Bachelor or something. They running down the beach for his girl. I don't know. What would you do if that happened to you?
Why do people do shit like that? You're asking for a divorce or a breakup. Like, just break up.
Exactly. Like, now you got more problems. You had problems of the past, and now you got problems of the present. Like, who's doing that?
And future.
So who wants to deal with that?
Nobody.
I could never do it. I couldn't do The Ultimatum. Which reality show could you do?
God, I don't know.
I mean, you got...
Minute to Win It.
That's a game show, not a reality show.
Oh.
She would be good at Minute to Win It, though. But that's not what we
reality show. I don't know. Like, I'm not single, so I can't do none of them. That'd be like Temptation Island all over. They got
Big Brother House. They have Traders, where you pretend to win to be, part of the family, but you're not. And if you win all this money.
What kind of damn shows you watch?
Yes, I watch a couple. You could be on the Housewives of. We're not gonna tell you where we live, but the Housewives of this town. You never know.
I can't. I'm broke.
You can't what?
I can't. I'm broke. All those bitches are bougie.
Well, you be on the porch.
I'm like, come on, guys. We going to 2nd Avenue.
Trip to Walmart.
We going to Walmart.
I would watch it. So that's our Say Less of the week. Say less. All right, so our topic of the day is besties. So let's talk a little bit about our relationship. We probably met 14 years ago now. Well, wait a minute.
Wait.
Our oldest is like 10. Not our oldest in the sense of
I know, we're not gay. It's not one of those shows.
Yes.
I mean, it could be, but we respect. Just not here.
Just not us. She has a husband.
I also have 3 kids.
Yes.
And guys are looking. Single, ready to mingle.
And I got 3 god kids, which are her kids. That's what I said. Our kids.
Yes.
All right. So he's like 11.
But I met you before he was born.
Right. So yeah, like 14.
Probably. I was engaged, right? So I got engaged.
No, I met you before you were engaged.
10. So 2010.
So maybe 15 years. I met her before she was engaged. Yeah, so let's talk about besties. We're adult besties because I know we look younger. I know we did. But we met as adults, where some people met as children. You remember your original bestie, your first bestie?
I did. So
I hope she don't say the name I'm about to say, because if you watching this, oh
no, she was not my first childhood bestie. I met her in the 7th grade. I know you're talking about Vanessa.
No, I'm not talking about Vanessa. I'm talking about Marat. Oh, Marat, that's what you get. Ah! This was worth that.
Okay, so Marat was my first
no,
ever
it wasn't.
bestie.
You gonna talk about Vanessa, you said.
No, Marat was my first person that I ever met when I came to the U.S.
But wasn't her first bestie Vanessa?
Immigration.
I love Vanessa.
Anyway,
I love Marat too.
Yes. Both of them are still in my lives. Both of them are still my best friends. But Marat, so I'm from Turkey originally, and I didn't speak a lick of English, right? So who can you have? Like someone who speaks the same language as you. So Marat, shout out to you. But he's still my best friend. He's still my best friend. And crazy is how worlds can like combine later, because we kind of disconnected because I moved to where I'm living now. Whereas we met back in Florida. I could say that because I'm no longer there. And he no longer there. But anyways, so don't go after my friend. But he got a job where I live, which is amazing, because it was like we never let go. Like we never, it's like time had never passed when we reunited. Yeah. It was so nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you remember your first ever best friend?
My god sister was my first ever best friend, because we used to play as kids in our elementary school, and we grew up as babies together. And then I had a friend, Jessica, who was amazing. She was one of my besties too. So, but I keep in contact with them, but I'm not as close as she is with her first bestie.
Yeah, but that was fate. Like, I don't think unless you're in the same area, like location-wise, it's hard to stay connected. Like me and Marat, like our families were friends.
Right.
So you kind of become friends by force. But when you become an adult, your friends that are in your life are your chosen friends, right? Like it's not friends that your parents are setting up play dates for. They're not you setting those up because you want to spend time with them.
Yeah.
So it's different. I prefer the friendships that came later more than I do from the ones that were forced. Like Murad and my relationship is different now, than it was before. His parent is not calling mine like, hey, is Etta free on Saturday? No, I'm like, Murad, get your ass over here for Friday. Like things change. So
yeah. And I think I keep more in touch with like high school friends and some elementary school, but like best friends, regular friends, I don't keep up as much with. But my closest friends I have today, I've known for a while.
What's a while? Like X amount of years?
I've probably known Jamel 30 years now.
So 15 doesn't cut it? I don't understand. I was waiting for like 15 plus. And I'm like, I made it.
But yeah, I mean, so that part of my life, when coming out of school, I met people who I became very close with, and those kind of relationships, like you were saying, having that relationship that you picked out for yourself, even though I picked out my god sister's the best. I love her to death. But the ones you kind of pick out for yourself, you kind of keep flowing with, because you have to take care of that relationship.
Right.
Nobody else can take care of that relationship for you.
That was well said.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But throughout your life, like you go through many of friends, right? Like there's people that come through for a season. I feel like I read that somewhere. Someone said that, right? Like someone comes in and out of your life for a reason. You needed them to be there, right? Mm-hmm. Like, so they could have been your BFF during 6th grade, but you hated her guts in 7th grade. I mean, who knows?
Right.
They come through for the season and they leave, but they come with a purpose and they leave hopefully with a purpose.
So I have a great example of that. My first year of college, me and a friend were very close. Like we were inseparable the whole first year of college, and kind of the second year of college too, until I kind of moved off campus. But we were so close. We both started college at the same time, went through everything together. And then the relationship kind of just died. You know, it just didn't go anywhere from there. Even though we finished college together, I don't think I saw her in my last 2 years of college. So, and we were very close. We were like, people would be like, oh my gosh, I can't see one of y'all without the other one. Like, y'all still friends?
So when do you think it like switched off?
Well, it switched off when my brother got sick and I had to visit him in the hospital every day.
So you didn't show her the attention she needed?
Yeah. So like I had to leave. I lived on campus and I took all my classes before noon, and right after noon, I got in the car and drove all the way into the city to the hospital. And I stayed with my brother in the hospital room until my father got off work, and then he stayed there the rest of the night. And then I just redid it. So I didn't get back to campus till like dinner was over. So I missed all of that. And it was like, oh, I'm
understandably,
just gonna, go in my room and do that. And I remember after he passed, he was in the hospital for over a year. But after he passed, I moved back home for my parents because they were struggling. But even when I came in on campus, other people would be like, oh, you should call her, you should reach out, you should do stuff. And I
Wrong. I'm sorry.
I didn't need to do that.
No, you didn't. And I'm so sorry. I have to cut you off there. I love you. And this is a great story and a great example. But your best friend should have reached out. She should have been right there by your side. Like, I don't know if this is like a maturity level thing. Like, maybe it is. And maybe I just don't see things the way I did, obviously, when I was younger. But I don't need friends that are in my life for a good time. I can go pick up somebody off the street that's willing to have a good time. I need friends in my life that are there when I'm struggling. Yes. Where you don't have to ask them for help because they're already been there. Right. Like, I don't need that. And college is old enough to understand that you need to be there for somebody. Like, that's not acceptable. I'm sorry. I know I'm being defensive. I love Lola, so fuck off. But,
anyway. So that kind of, I wasn't doing well when I went back to school either. So, you know, all of that was going on, and I couldn't take care of myself, and I had to think about my parents. So I didn't have time to think about somebody else in that relationship. So I just, did my best to graduate. That was the point of me being there. So yeah, people come into your life for a season. Like, I remember the first day I met her, I was like coming in and I didn't know anybody, and she was just sitting on the side. She was like, "Oh, we're gonna be friends," and da 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 da. And we like hung out from that day on, like all the time. We even took a couple classes together. We were the same major, so we took a couple classes together. She studied a lot more than me. Sometimes I'd be wondering what she was talking about, but she had read the book. I hadn't read the book, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And she was like, "Girl, that was in the book." I was like, "Oh my goodness, girl!" I went back to the room and watched Young and the Restless. I didn't study between lunch and dinner. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I think it was great to have that going into college because, you go onto campus, you live, and I had never been away from home, didn't have any friends that went to my school. So it was great to like have somebody there to be like, oh, we're going to do this together, that together. And she was very school focused, which, kept me on track because she was like, oh, we got to do this, do that, keep all of this in line. So even though we had a great time, like every party, I mean, she's the person that told me, because when I entered college, I was only 16. And she was like, girl, your college ID will get you into any club in Baltimore City.
Did it?
Yeah, it did. Damn. I was shocked.
First of all, I don't know what the fuck she doing at 16 in college.
So I was all over the place. So she taught me a lot of stuff. She was from New York. Oh my God, she knew all that stuff, like everything. So yes, oh my goodness, it was great. It was a great friendship, like I said, for that period of time, and then it just stopped.
Yeah, I stopped trusting people.
You have any friendships that were there for a season?
Yes and no. I think they were there for a school term, I guess you could say, like middle school term. Mm-hmm. Like, I think in 6th grade, I had the most traumatic time of my life. Like, I'm terrified for my oldest entering 6th grade, but I think I've given him the backbone to be like, I got your back. You got to do something. But, yeah, no, the people who I thought were my friends for a while, like neighborhood friends. So like you see them even outside of school, like did some crazy crap to me, like prank phone calling. Cause back then there was no cell phones, not giving away my age, but there was no, so you had a house phone that everybody and their mother had access to because it was sent home at school. There was the yellow pages, there were the white pages. It's like everybody could reach you.
411.
411, exactly. So, yeah, they would prank phone call my house from the deaf line. Like, way to use quality service that is meant for a special set of people that need that, and they would prank phone call my house talking crazy nonsense and I come from a very religious, very strict household, and saying some of the things that they said over that deaf line, and then me having to defend myself, like, it was hell. It was hell. I lost all my friends, and that's when my ray of sunshine, Vanessa, came in my life.
Not Mariah.
Yeah, so I had it. I turned into a completely different person. I was a sweet, innocent, like, super nice, like, you could shit all over me and I'd be like, okay, to a completely different person. I was just like, fuck you and fuck you and fuck you and fuck you. Like, I'm not dealing with shit. And you want to say something about my hair? Sure, I'll talk about your mama. Like, it's not happening here. No more. And that's how I raised my children, because no one's going to shit over them. Because, you know, those videos when they pull up, they're like, when you call your mom because you got into a fight, and it's like this huge ass pickup truck. That's like, that's me 24/7.
Yes. That is her.
It is. What about those friends that you have, like, over social media and stuff? Like, you know, I think I speak to a few other people. Like, I speak to some people over social media, like messaging back and forth or sharing reels or whatever, that I've probably spoken 5 words to, like, in real life.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they might be a really good friend, but then it's like super fucking awkward when you see them in person. I'm like, you are not the same person.
Yeah.
Which you're not.
Exactly. I think sometimes it's hard to read. I like cruising, so I'm on a lot of cruise sites or social media sites, and I pick up friends from there. And when we're talking about cruising, we're all on the same page. Like, oh, we can't wait to the next cruise. How many days? And then when you get off of cruising, sometimes you can go into topics you're like, oh my gosh, this person is crazy. So you do have those issues with those kind of people that maybe almost seem like a bestie because y'all love the same thing, but it turns out maybe you don't love the same things. Or, you know, then you got to decide, is this something that, I'm a person who believes that people are not going to be 100% what you want them to be, no matter how friendly or lovely or how in love with you are in the friendship. They're not going to be. So you got to decide if that's something that's a breaking point, or if you're going to try to continue the friendship and not deal with it.
Yeah.
I'm a person that not deal with it. She's the person that brings it to the front and says, hey, I don't like what you did. Bada, 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 boom, boom, boom. I'm a person that says, I don't like what they did, but I still want to be that friend, and I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just never going to be in that situation again.
Like, block.
No, I only blocked one person ever. And if you're watching this, oh my goodness, now you know I only haven't blocked you, but that's who I blocked. And I ain't never blocked another person. If you got blocked, it's by mistake. Because that takes effort. Like, you really, I ain't going to talk about it no more because you might watch this video.
But so was their effort in writing that comment or status. Like I mentioned earlier, and this is far away from any type of political podcast that you will ever come across. However, I did mention earlier, I am foreign. I was born in a different country. I am a citizen, so don't come after me. But when people post things about people going, you should go back to your country, you should do this, you should do that. Like, technically, I'm from a different country, and technically, I thought you loved me. Like, do I have to justify certain things for you to love me? Like, maybe we should all walk around with, this is my place of birth. This is my current citizenship level, like, your status. Like, it's crazy that some true colors have come about social media. Like, I think I don't go about, like, commenting on their things or acknowledging it when I see them in person. Like, I really don't do that because I feel like it's going to open up other cans of worms that I don't want to get into. But I think you just need to love the aspects of that person that you liked before that post. Yeah. And just kind of pretend like you didn't see it. I mean, not pretend, but kind of be cautious. Like, maybe this person wouldn't have my back.
I mean, you got to make that decision. Do you still want that person in your life, or are you going to move on and do something else?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you have to make that hard decision. And I think, like other relationships, sometimes people stay too long just because they've been there long. No,
It's
sometimes you got to, sometimes you got to break it off.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, this was our first episode. We hope you all enjoyed it, and we hope we'll see you in 7 more days when episode 2 comes out of Between Us Girls. I am your host, Lola, and this is
Ada.
Check us out on YouTube, TikTok, and
Instagram.
Toodles.
Toodles.